The Reluctant Library by Trish Brown.
A sign hand-lettered cruel and plain.
Libraries are for humans.
The message stung like acid rain. Inside a clerk stood, rigid, humorless, immune. 3 friends discarded, denied, but undeterred, their feelings too raw to be deferred. The wind, a tyrant, flinging grit and grief as the 3 stood braced at the Lunenburg Library door. Brizo, tail curled tight in aching disbelief. Liesi, fists clenched, furious, ready to settle the score. Drago, spiked spine and scales hissing like flame, each breath a manifesto, each twitch a claim. "Let us in," they shouted. "We want books to adore."
To which the library snickered nevermore. Libraries are for humans.
Charcoal dusk blurred the building's edge. Soupy clouds, stingy with light, concealed the ledge. Brizo shivered, dreams fraying, feeling other, she alleged. A New York Times bestseller promised beauty, fame, and privilege. She'd seen humans once, and the dream took root. A mermaid model in heels, fierce, flawless, and cute.
And the library chortled nevermore. Libraries are for humans.
Liesi kicked the door, voice sharp as steel. What kind of place denies a princess her book? I need wisdom on sibling appeal, not etiquette, not fame, not how to rock a royal look. Her sharp sword hummed softly. Her stance defied every single stupid royal rule her lineage supplied.
And the library cackled nevermore. Libraries are for humans.
Drago's nostrils flared. His pride ignited, his lofty ideals now sorely slighted. I seek greatness, he cried, tail lashing the air. I read to rise, to lead, to learn. A burp of methane, a flash of despair. He clamped down his glands with a grunt and a glare. Dignity bruised, but still debonair.
And the library whispered nevermore. Libraries are for humans.
"Burn it down," Liesi said, half in jest, her eyes wretched storms, but her swagger intact. Her rebellion a stoic, glorious act. She was all grit and grace, a hero in bloom, a spunkly pretty princess, never touched by gloom.
And the library chortled nevermore. Libraries are for humans.
And Brizo, breathtaking, lost in thought, still dreaming of runways, high fashion, glitter, and culottes. She'd wanted that book, that look, and she also sought a world that wouldn't turn her away. 3 friends, denied, dejected, distressed but undeterred, their shame too biting to be deferred.
And the library snorted nevermore. Libraries are for humans.
The banshee wind, wild and cruel, flung shards of contempt, tarnish and taint, besmirching the 3 friends who stood silent at the library gate. Bleak, unwanted, unnamed, remorseful, branded monsters by a wretched world without humane scruple. Sure, debris-stemmed skin, but not as much as the cruel barbed sign that barred their way in.
Humans only.
The words were a slap, a sneer, gussied up in bureaucratic crap. Brizo blinked back tears. Festooned fins, curled tight, her beauty wasted on tightly clinched minds. She'd dreamed of runways, glitter and lights, a mermaid in heels, a starring role to rewrite her kind.
Liesi scoffed, sword hand still twitching. "Set it ablaze," she shouted with flair, tossing her hair, bewailing a curse, mocking the crown she used to wear. Her grace and grit honed in equal measure, her sass sharpened despite finishing school pressure.
Drago roared in hurt thunder, breathed out hot flames. His scales catching incandescent light like shattered glass. He longed to learn, to rise, to soar. But humans only saw a beast, not the brilliance he amassed.
Liesi, the princess who'd never played the game. Instead, a rebel swaddled in royal pride. Brizo, breathtaking, bruised by hope, still dreamed of pages, fame, and grace. But tonight, the door stayed shut. The world refused to make them space. So, there they stood, three freakish outcasts, fierce and true. Monsters, maybe. But marvelous too. Suddenly, the door opened and a sweet child emerged. Face smiling, arms inviting, eyes gleaming with love.
"Come on in, guys," she invited, stepping gallantly aside. "We've all been waiting for you to arrive. Come on inside and check out our books, of which there are plenty. Something for everyone. Come roam our aisles freely. Pick out what you need. There are books for dreamers, books for the bold, for mermaids, for dragons, for all hearts untold. Pick out what you need, explore each aisle. This sanctuary was made to make you smile."
And just like that, the wind grew still. The monsters stepped inside. Brizo blinked through tears, blue-green tail curled up tight, her heart still bruised from the dreadful sign's slight. But the child's smile, cordially received, soft and unafraid, shone like sparkling sunlight through ocean shade. She stepped forward, breath held in awe, beauty no longer something to prove or withdraw. Just a girl, just a dream, just a book to find, and maybe a world that could be kind. Liesi's steel-manicured hands still grasped her blade, ready to chop off what fear had made. But the child's voice, so clear, so sweet, banished the cold stone beneath her feet. She tossed her hair, but not in spite, and swaggered in with only half her might. Grace and sass, still sharp, still true, still felt, still there, but softened now by something new. Drago flared his nostrils, unsure, unmoved. His pride still raw, his worth yet questioned. But the child had said, "We've waited for you. Not monsters, not other, not wrong or askew." His spine relaxed, his scales glittered bright, his feelings no longer in unreasonable half-baked flight. He tiptoed inside, head held high, ready to read, to rise, to try. The three found a corner, warm and wide, where kindness bloomed like coral tide. Brizo curled her tail beneath her seat and devoured a book on runway feats. Cradled gently in her lovely hands, each page a promise, each word a strand of dreams reborn in incontrovertible ink.
Liesi sprawled with warrior boots askew, a sword beside a book or two on sibling bonds and royal grace, though she still rolled her eyes at a mean girl's pace. She read aloud with elaborate flair, pronouncing syllables with a mocking air. Drago hunched over, but beginning to thaw, his scales soft and blue, clattered and clinked throughout the short night. His knowledge bloomed and wonder grew. He whispered facts with reverent tones, his voice no longer quite alone. And in that nook, the world grew wide, no longer barred, no need to hide. Three monsters curled in quiet delight, rewriting their story by library light.